2018 was a great year for the UFC. They hosted over 400 individual fights, each with their levels of excitement and energy. MMA fans really do enjoy a good scrap between fighters, leaving it all inside the cage, but I mean, who doesn't? 2018 has left us with ups and downs, surprises and shockers, but most importantly, it left us with a lot of great finishes. From unexpected knockout to a rare submission victory, 2018 showed us things we have never before seen in mixed martial arts. But what really gets fans excited and gets a highlight on mainstream media is a big, brutal knockout, and we have seen a lot of those. From upsets to comebacks to downright sickening knockouts, there are few that will certainly stand out from the rest. I'm Sasha Moks of The Complete Knockout, and here are the top 10 biggest UFC knockouts of 2018. Number 10. Jacare knockout of Chris Weidman. Nothing is more cursed than setting up a match between Khabib and Tony. The close second, however, is Chris Weidman fighting in his home state of New York. Yes, he did score a victory over Calvin Gastelum, but before that he lost to Yoel via devastating flying knee. Holy shit, let's not forget Yoel can do this. And then there was the Mousasi incident. Now, at UFC 230, where he fought Ronaldo on short notice, within the first 2 rounds, it seemed everything was going in favor of the All-American. But as fate would have it, Jacare hit Weidman with a brutal right hook in an exchange. Weidman then fell slowly and was clearly out. A huge win for Jacare and a heartbreaking defeat for Weidman in his home state. Number 9. Amanda Nunes knockout of Chris Cyborg. This was absolute madness. It wasn't a definitive shot that really secured this knockout on the list, but it was all the factors involved as well. Cyborg was an icon in MMA, having not lost a single fight in years. But the lioness, Amanda Nunes, paid no attention. It took Amanda Nunes less than a minute to put away Cyborg with a flurry of heavy punches and combinations. The first shot dropped Cyborg to her knees, which was already a shock to fans as Cyborg had never been knocked down previously. In a few exchanges later, she was out. It was an unbelievable moment and one that the new champ will never forget. Number 8. Derek Lewis knockout of Alexander Volkov. Those damn third rounds. Just when you thought you had done everything you need to do and victory was in sight, a big Hail Mary of a punch lands on your chin, knocking you completely out. That was the case at UFC 229, when Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, was absolutely losing the entire fight. Volkov was outstriking him, hurting him, and was overall on his way to another impressive victory. But Derek Lewis, being the complete animal and the beast that he is, just needed one punch. In the last 10 seconds, Derek Lewis hit the Russian right on the chin, knocking him stiff. What an incredible display from Lewis, who went on to have his title shot not even 30 days later, but nevertheless, you can never count the Black Beast out. Number 7. Justin Gaethje knocks out James Vick. Do you guys remember the build-up for this fight? Vick had finally gotten his main stage appearance against an elite level opponent in Justin Gaethje. Vick saw this as an opportunity to maybe market himself a little differently than before, taking a page out of Conor McGregor's book. He began shit-talking Gaethje at all the promos and weigh-ins, and well, let's just say it was bad. Very, very cringeworthy and hard to watch. But you know what was even harder to watch? Watching Justin Gaethje knocking James Vick out in the first round. It was one hell of an overhand right, which just looked so much better because of the height difference between these two fighters. Watching the satisfaction Gaethje had on his face by making Vick literally eat all of his words is truly a priceless moment in his career. Number 6. Daniel Cormier knocks out Stipe Miocic. Another champ on this list with their dominant victory is Daniel Cormier. How can you hate this guy? Well, if you're a hardcore Jones fan, it's easy. But at UFC 226, the MMA community was left stunned. It wasn't the fact that DC beat Stipe, because everyone knows DC is a monster at heavyweight. It was the fact that he flatlined the enormous Ohio native firefighter. From inside the clinch, DC landed a clean right hook on the jaw of Miocic, knocking him out instantly. A few follow-up punches just because, and we crowned a new dual champion. Seeing Stipe, as enormous as he is, fold like a lawn chair is something fans will never forget. Number 5. Lyoto Machida knocks out Randy Couture. I mean, Anderson Silva knocks out Vitor Belfort? No, I actually mean Lyoto Machida knocks out Vitor Belfort. In his last UFC match, Lyoto the Dragon Machida faced off against fellow Brazilian legend Vitor Belfort. UFC 224 took us back to the days of front kicks and the glory days of the Dragon, and well, the crappy days for Vitor. In the opening minute of the second round, if you blinked, you would have missed it. As quick as a snake strike, Lyoto landed a movie-style karate front kick to the chin of Vitor Belfort, instantly knocking him out. Flashbacks to Anderson Silva doing the exact same thing back at UFC 126 in 2011 can definitely be seen. I mean, the similarities are just striking. Poor Vitor Belfort. Number 4, Al Hassan vs Sabah Hassami 2. Lightning does strike twice, or kind of. Since this first match ended in such controversy after what many thought to be an early stoppage, as Abdul Razak was able to walk away with the TKO victory, it seemed fitting to have a rematch. There is genuine bad blood between these two middleweights, which makes the result all that much better. Exactly 50 days after their first match, we got to see a brutal uppercut by Razak that put Sabah Hassami to sleep. Obviously, to the disconcerting fact, and the team of Sabah Hassami, who thought the first fight should continue, absolutely did not want to see this result. No controversy this time around. What made this knockout even better was when Razak just stood over a lifeless Hassami. Second time's the charm, right? Number 3, Brian Ortega's knockout of Frankie Edgar. Wow, oh wow. I don't think I need to say anything about this knockout. It was something else. Of course, no one counted out either man as they are both high elite level fighters. However, no one could foresee this finish. Frankie is a former lightweight champion, and Ortega at that time was an undefeated prospect who was one win away from a title shot. Was it going to be a submission victory for Ortega, or was it going to be an overwhelming decision win for Edgar? Well, how about neither? This finish, an uppercut more devastating than the last item on this list, stunned the world. That one strike lifted Edgar from his feet and handed him his first ever knockout loss. Jiu-jitsu kid turned knockout artist is a very, very scary thing, and let's just not forget how Ortega felt and how Edgar looked when he sent him to the Shadow Realm. Number 2, Yoel Romero knocks out Luke Rockhold. Poor Luke. From a totally unstoppable middleweight champion to being knocked out by Michael Bisping to then being absolutely destroyed by Yoel. I mean, we know Yoel Romero is an absolute fucking freak of nature. The guy is like a sculpture Roman god who gets better with age and somehow keeps getting more abs. I mean, the guy has abs on his abs. Regardless, in the third round, Yoel stole the show at UFC 221 when he obliterated Rockhold, first with a big hook, dropping him to the ground, to then delivering one of the most nastiest uppercuts seen. Lights out. But what's worse, Yoel then proceeded to kiss Luke Rockhold on the lips, on live TV, on a pay-per-view card. Luke has not been seen since. And at number 1, the Korean zombie gets knocked out by Yair Rodriguez. If you got this far, thank you. If you were able to guess the final entry, send me a message because you are awesome and deserve a shout out. For some reason, a knockout by way of backwards elbow in the last second of the last round of a fight that can be considered fight of the year, it really makes it hard to beat. These two went at war with each other for the majority of 25 minutes. According to 2 of the judges' scorecards, the fight was going the zombie's way. And now we talked about the last 10 seconds of a fight being super detrimental as you can be knocked out. Well, how about the literal last second of a fight? It was unbelievable, and for Yair to even have the coordination to land a move that now the developers of EA Sports UFC are asking themselves, how the fuck are we going to implement this, is just truly stunning. This was the knockout of the year in 2018. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this segment of the top 10 list. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe if you want more, if you like it, if not. And make sure you leave a comment telling me what you want to see in the next top 10 list. And as always, have an excellent day.